JD Vance's honeymoon is over. Welcome to Columbus on the Record. I'm Anna Staver, sitting in for Mike Thompson. Ohio Senator JD Vance is learning that appealing to all of America is a little bit different than winning over voters in a red state. Vance has been campaigning hard since accepting Donald Trump's offer to be his running mate, but he keeps having to explain things he said while running for U.S. Senate here. Like the Democratic Party is run by childless cat ladies, or that we shouldn't view pregnancies from rape as inconvenient, or that gymnast Simone Biles leaving the 2020 Olympic team wasn't something to be praised, calling it her weakest moment. Trump says he's sticking with Vance, but he gave an odd response when asked about Vance's presidential readiness.
When you look at J.D. Vance, is he ready on day one?
Does he what?
Ready on day one, if he has to be.
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact. You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of commotion as to who, like you're having it on the Democrat side, who it's going to be. And then that dies down, and it's all about the presidential pick.
Mike, there are now rumors that Donald Trump maybe has some buyer's remorse over picking Vance as VP. Is there any truth to that?
I wouldn't know, Ann. I'm not that close to the scene, but obviously he has not been very helpful to the president, past president, the last few weeks, saying things, as you said, that he said when he was running for the Senate in 22. Again, I would agree somewhat with Donald Trump when he said most elections the vice president doesn't have a great deal. I think statistically that's been shown. But this is a different election. I think there's a lot of people that aren't real happy with either one of the candidates. And a vice president that says things you dislike, this could tip it, a particular voter one way or the other. So I'm sure Trump would have some buyer's remorse, but then again, it's Trump. He says things equally as crazy, if that's a good word, as Vance has said.
You know, Daryl, Vance was chosen in a moment of confidence when Republicans thought they might be headed for a landslide victory. Trump essentially chose a younger version of himself, a deep conservative who appealed to his base. Then Biden dropped out and Harris became the presumptive nominee. Do you think he would have chosen differently if he could go back and do it over?
Well, I'm like Mike. I mean, predicting what Donald Trump will or should have done or what he's thinking, you know, we're not going to get rich making that bet. But it does make you wonder about the calculation here. Yeah, it was right, and this was less than 3 weeks ago at this point. Seems so. This news cycle has just been, I think, unprecedented in my career, anyhow. It makes you wonder because, yeah, I think he was going for, you know, this. I want me in there, and this guy's closest to me. This is a guy who will cement my legacy, hopefully on down the road. Starting in perhaps 2028 and beyond. His children, you know, especially Don Jr., were pushing J.D. Vance. They've become very close in recent years. So it was no calculation to the traditional balancing the ticket or maybe this person could get voters that I can't. And, you know, before we say, well, does Trump really care about that? I think we just look, you know, back at 2016 when he picked Mike Pence. I think that was a clear overture to evangelical Christians. It's hard to remember in a way, but evangelical Christians were very suspicious of President Trump, of then candidate Trump, back in 2015 and then 2016 in the campaign. So he needed to give them some assurances, you know, that this guy has been married 3 times, once was pro-choice, says all sorts of things that seemingly Christians would find objectionable. Getting someone like Mike Pence to sort of vouch for you, if you will, you know, that helped him out. And, you know, now evangelicals are some of Trump's biggest supporters.
Yeah, he doesn't need to court that vote any longer.
He doesn't, no. So would he go back? And I don't know, you know, would he pick a Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, give him a little more outreach to Hispanic voters, a little more establishment sort of candidate. I talked to someone, I can't remember, one of the political consultants before the pick was made, and we were evaluating when they were down to the final three, to Vance and Rubio, and he said Vance is the high-risk candidate, most potential for gain, but most potential for loss. So I think we're seeing right now the most potential for loss, because all these old comments are now finding a new life. It does make me question their vetting process, or do we not just care? Or as Mike said, hey, there's some wild things being said by the top of the ticket. Why would he care if he finds a few wild things in J.D. Vance's past? And I think also, J.D. Vance is being sent this coming week. He was just at the border yesterday as we taped this. He's being sent to several key western states, including Nevada, to not only raise money, but also to hold the flag high.
Mike, Vance was also caught this week saying Harris becoming the nominee was a sucker punch. And the phrase sucker punch means that you did something unfair. What do you make of the Republican argument that Biden dropping out subverted the will of the Democratic voters? That it was a sucker punch?
Well, I don't know about sucker punch. That's just different people will have a different definition of that phrase. But I think that Trump is just Trump. You can't predict anything he does. The concept of a sucker punch, to me, there is no doubt whatsoever that Biden got out for one reason: he could not win. And all of the Democrat people were talking to him. We're going to lose the House. We're going to lose the Senate. We need to do something. Obviously, the debate is what started everything. Now, can you say that after Biden drops out and Harris becomes the presumptive candidate, that this is really a staggering change with your plans and all that? Sure. I just wouldn't call it a sucker punch. It's politics. He got out because, as we all know, they wouldn't give him money. They wouldn't do anything. The pressure was just enormous. And that's the reason. And now Trump has planned this whole thing against Biden, which the polls had him way ahead, is now pretty much gone.
The presidential race has been sucking up all the political oxygen, but Ohioans have another important decision this November. Who should represent us in the U.S. Senate? It's a question that could determine which party controls that chamber come January. Senator Sherrod Brown still leads in both polling and fundraising, but the gaps are starting to close. Daryl, conventional political wisdom, and I'm a little afraid to say that this year, but conventional wisdom says candidates who take on incumbents need to raise more money. And the latest campaign finance reports show Brown with $13 million and Bernie Moreno with $7 million. Does that matter this year?
It's nice to have, twice as much money that you have raised more than your opponent. But that's not going to be the big money by any stretch. You look at the ads that reserved, good grief, the first couple months of the year. Republicans, $83 million in ads for, they didn't even know who their candidate was, but to beat Sherrod Brown. Sherrod Brown, like Chuck Schumer had promised at least $60 million. That may go up. This is one of the, along with Montana, one of the top two contests in the nation. With West Virginia off the table, this could well decide control of the Senate. Sherrod Brown has been in Ohio politics since way before you were born, that's for sure. Even Mike and I may even had some of our natural hair back then. It's been that long, folks. 1974, except for a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah, that was a decade before I came along, so.
Yeah, you weren't even a thought in your parents' minds yet. Yeah, like I say, Sherrod's up on him, $13 million to whatever, 6-point-some million. Every buck counts for these politicians, and there's never enough no matter what. You could have a 10-to-1 advantage, and you'd still want more. I mean, why else did the Watergate burglars break in to Democratic headquarters in 1972? What in the world did they expect that they're going to find that was going to make it even more against George McGovern? So anyhow, yeah, the big bucks are going to come in from the outside. And, those are just the parties. Throw in all sorts of special interest groups, dark money groups. Ohio,
So television stations are the winner this November.
it's a darn shame, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, but you know, in some ways, it's just like another presidential year in Ohio, except the bombardment of ads. We're probably not going to see a single ad from a presidential campaign. You know, just as as recently as 8 years ago, there was thought Ohio was in play. Now we're going to see the bombardment, but it's going to be pretty much lots of Sherrod Brown and Bernie Moreno ads.
Mike, Moreno's been out saying that Senator Sherrod Brown needs to, quote, fess up to what he did or didn't know about President Joe Biden's mental and physical health. Moreno says Brown essentially put our country at risk by hiding the fact that we had a president in decline, a president he describes as no longer being up to the job. Do you think that's going to matter now that Harris is the likely nominee?
Well, only that he picked Harris to be the nominee. I don't think it's going to mean too much. I think there's a lot of sympathy for Biden because he doesn't seem to be quite right mentally yet. So picking on him is that unimportant, I think. But, back to your question that you and Daryl talked about with the money, Trump won Ohio, I think, by 8% in 2016, and I think 2020 it was like 8.5%. Now, I think that the people who are for Trump, the vast majority who come out, and there'll be a lot of them, will then vote for Moreno. The other side is same true. The people who I don't think would have come out with Biden are now in Ohio are now going to come out with Harris, and they'll vote for Brown. So I think it's going to be a very close race. I think Sherrod Brown is probably one of the happiest guys in the Democrat Party to have Biden gone and Harris in. I think that's going to help him a lot. I think it's going to help a lot of the Democrats. So we'll see. Money, I agree with Daryl. It's nice to have the money, but I don't think it'll be the controlling factor in that race.
Daryl, a poll out this week had Senator Brown leading Bernie Moreno by 4 points. But if you look at the polling from May until now, Brown's lead has been cut in half. So Brown's lead is shrinking. Do you think it's going to evaporate?
That's the key question. Plus, we should note that poll's margin of sampling error was exactly 4% as well.
It's a toss-up by every rating.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not among those who call these statistical ties because a 4-point lead is a 4-point lead, but just note what the margin of error is. That means they could be tied, but also means Brown could still be ahead by 8 points. So you can read that margin of error either way. I think what Mike touched on has always been the key for Sherrod Brown here. It's been pretty much a given, and I don't think it's any different now, that Donald Trump's going to win Ohio. That same poll, I think, showed him up by 9 or 10 points, which in some predictions, when he's against Biden, had it even higher. So to win, Sherrod Brown has to convince those people who go in and, vote for Donald Trump to turn around and vote for Sherrod Brown. That seems an odd mixture. And that's only happened, I think, once in recent history where an incumbent senator has done that, pulled off that feat, and that was Susan Collins, the I almost call her independent. She is titularly a Republican from the state of Maine.
Governor Mike DeWine says the state's current method of drawing legislative and congressional maps doesn't work. He wants to change it, but he doesn't support November's amendment, the one that would create a bipartisan, non-political commission to draw district lines.
If this ballot proposal were to be adopted, Ohio would actually end up with a system that mandates, that compels map drawers to produce gerrymandered districts. In fact, Ohio would have gerrymandering in the extreme.
DeWine suggested Ohio look to what Iowa has done with its redistricting system. Supporters of the amendment immediately criticized the governor for spreading insulting disinformation, saying, "We're done listening to self-serving politicians tell us how they want to keep rigging the game." On to November. Governor Mike DeWine's position looks a lot like the one that he took on the Reproductive Rights Amendment last November. He said the heartbeat bill, which he signed, wasn't where Ohioans were on abortion, but that the Reproductive Rights Amendment wasn't either. He was hoping for a third path that never materialized. Is history going to repeat itself here?
Well, I don't think nothing's going to change. They thought about getting something on the ballot, but it was too late. So you're going to have this.
We have 5
issue.
days.
Pardon me? Yeah, 5
We have
days.
5 whole days.
So this issue of gerrymandering, to me, it comes over every time. The people that want this change, they're really the people who are pushing it, raising the money, and so forth, are figuring it's going to help Democrats. That's it. This idea, let's make it all fair, I don't accept at all. And if the shoe were on the other foot, it would be the same way. I go back to maybe 12 years ago, Darrell would remember this, when they had a structure worked out between the Democrats and the Republicans. They had it all agreed. At the last minute, the Democrats looked at the race, thought they would win the November election, and cancel everything. Because they thought, well, we'll win the election, then it'll be in our favor. So you're just going to have this constantly happening. I don't care how the lines are drawn. Whoever loses in the races in November is going to argue, look, we lost, not because they wanted the other people, because of gerrymandering. So I just think it's something that goes on and on and on, and there is no answer. But what Governor DeWine wants, so far as another option, is not going to happen.
Yeah, Darrell, speaking of on and on and on, this is the 5th time in 20 years that Ohioans are going to go to the ballot for redistricting. I just wonder, are people going to be so fatigued they're going to think, oh, not this again?
And I'm somewhat surprised. I mean, for years, we appeared on this show and with Ann Fisher, now your show. And we talked a lot about redistricting and went over why people thought that was so bad. And the main thing was, there's X percentage of one party that's, in this state as measured by actual election results. But that party had way disproportionate representation in the House and the Senate and in the congressional delegation. I think people started to get that a little bit. Now, as far as this proposal, first of all, Mike Miller is absolutely right. In the late 2000s, leading up to the 2010 election, Governor Strickland was facing re-election. They actually did have a pretty good, strong Democratic ticket under John Husted, then Speaker of the House, Republican. They worked out a deal. You're right. To basically have a panel on all this. I've talked to both Chris Redfern, the Democratic chairman, and to now Lieutenant Governor Husted about this. Yeah, it was all ready to go down, but then Chris Redfern does the calculation exactly as Mike says. It's like, why do we compromise and give away the upper hand that we're going to have after November? Well,
It did not work out that way.
It did not work out that way. There was a fellow named John Kasich who made Ted Strickland a one-term governor, and Republicans, again, swept all the down-ticket offices, which they've been doing for a long time. You talk about redistricting, that's a fundamental thing. Ohio is a Republican state by all indications. We've had all Republican statewide executive office holders for several cycles now. We have a majority on the Ohio Supreme Court. So it's going to be a Republican state. But is it to the extent where our state Senate, our state House are supermajority Republicans, which does not seem to reflect the political makeup of Ohio? There's a trap in this redistricting thing. What Governor DeWine said about sort of mandating gerrymandering, that's not all wrong, because how do you balance things out to make it a politically balanced state? Well, let's say we have 15 congressional districts. Let's say it comes out there's supposed to be 9 Republican and 6 Democratic. All right. So the hard way to do it is to design 9 congressional districts. The Republicans are likely to win. Design 6 where Democrats are likely to win. Voila, we have a balanced map. But the practicality of what that map is going to look like, it's not going to have compact districts like we all like. It's not necessarily going to adhere to political boundaries like we all like. It's going to look like things like those of us who are in the redistricting we've been following. It's the snake on the lake or the duck that was Jim Jordan's district for 10 years. There's going to be weird things, most likely. So you have kind of competing demands here. Do you want it politically balanced, or do you want all these contingency and all that?
Are you saying, Daryl, that we have to have gerrymandering to make it politically balanced?
To fix gerrymandering. In a way, you do.
You
Individual
gerrymander to fix
districts
it.
to
I
make
like
it
that.
statewide. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Ohio's sales tax holiday began Thursday at midnight, and it runs through next Thursday. It used to just be 3 days, now it's 10 days. It used to just be for school supplies under $75. Now it's basically anything except cigarettes and booze. And it's up to purchases of $500. The liberal policy group Policy Matters Ohio is not a fan of the holiday. It says the state will lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Consumers will save a little bit, but it's the big retailers who come out the big winners. Daryl, this new sales tax holiday came about during the last budget, which you and I both covered, and the price tag ruffled some feathers at the time. The 2023 holiday cost the state $20 million, but this one could be more than $740 million. How on earth did we get a conservative Republican legislature to go for $740 million?
Wait, that's a tax cut.
That's true.
What do you mean? That's nirvana to Republicans. We cut taxes almost $750 million here. I'm putting that in my reelection ads, regardless of the fine print. Is it good for Ohio? That's been the debate, and you covered it really well a couple of years ago. There's always been the argument: does this help consumers, and does it help retailers? Does everyone just sort of condense the shopping they were going to do anyhow and do it in that, used to be, like you said, just a few days. Now we got a week, so go buy your tires and stuff like that now. I'm not sure that's been answered. It's been analyzed to death, and I'm not sure it's been answered yet.
Mike, the taxes coming into Ohio are less than expected in recent months. Do you think this holiday is something we'll be able to repeat going forward? Do you worry that we maybe just can't afford the check we wrote?
No, I think if there's cuts they can make them in other places. The concept behind this is a good one, I think. You had 3 days, 4 days to do this. Theoretically, people buying stuff for their children to go back to school, they would save roughly 6%. Now, how much that's practical, that you looked at everybody that really needs this and how many of them did it in that 3-day period, I don't know. I don't imagine it was 100% by any means. Now it's been expanded to 10, so and now everybody gets to do it. I know you can't buy cars and stuff like that, but
I don't know. You could get a car for under $500.
well, maybe so.
But you'd run, didn't you?
No.
That would run.
Toy car.
Toy car, yeah. But anyway, I just think it's one of these issues. It's always one side says this is terrible, and the next, if they get in control, the other side will say it's terrible. I don't think it makes in the long run much difference.
Daryl, people like Policy Matters Ohio said that instead we should have put the money into a refundable income tax credit, which is something they have been begging for years and years and years. And I think that's kind of right. It's the heart of legislative arguing, right? Where should we put the money?
Absolutely, yeah. Which pot do you sweeten? Which pot do you drain a little bit? And Policy Matters. It's balanced policy-wise, but it is certainly liberal-oriented. So yeah, that's one of their pet proposals, and the refundable earned income tax, things of that nature, they would really like. Because on the other hand, they rail against the sales tax because it is not a progressive tax. So if you're going to cut a tax, at least that's proportionally that's helping the poor more.
Yeah, because arguably the poor, it's a bigger percentage of their overall income. Right. So it's surprising that they don't like this.
Well, I think on balance, they just want it, this way it would, because now the rich people can go in and get whatever off their $500 worth of tires just like the poor, whereas...
You can also get a very expensive steak.
Yes, maybe even 2 at some places.
Yeah.
But Republicans wanted to spread it out. Democrats would like to target it to those lower income brackets.
So we got to wait and see if it's a gimmick or a give back.
Here's going to be the trick, because you're right. The largesse that's been flowing into Ohio coffers over these past several years, COVID aid and everything else, it seems to be coming to an end. So, and this is designed so this doesn't automatically happen every year. The legislature decides what period of days, if any, that this will take place. But Now that we've gone this far, if you condense the days, will it be a tax increase?
Okay, time for our final off-the-record parting shots. Mike Miller?
Well, my off-the-record parting shot is very simplistic. I'm a guy that votes both parties. I mean, I'm a lifelong Republican, but I vote for Democrats, people that I think are better once in a while. What I'm going to do this year is the first person I hear out there, regardless of what their party affiliation is, that says, look, I'm running against X. X is a fine human being. I think the world of him and her, but we have differences of agreement, and I'm going to go this way. I'm so tired of everybody screaming at the other guy, you know, I'm right, this guy's a bum, he doesn't know anything, he only me. I'm just so fed up with it, I have been for years. So to get my little vote, it's pretty simple. Just act like a normal person, the way I think politics used to be back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. But it's no longer, it's gone now, and I miss it.
Daryl?
I've been coming on this show a long time. 15 years ago, there was a senior at Upper Arlington, champion rower, who got necrotizing fasciitis, had to have both legs removed. His name is Blake Haxton, whom I consider a dear friend, and his dad, Steve, too. Is in the Paralympics this year. He made the Olympics, he made the team in 2016. In 2020 in Tokyo, he got silver. Let's prayers and hopes for him this time around.
That's all for Columbus on the Record for this week. Continue the conversation on Facebook, and you can watch us anytime on our website, wosu.org/COTR, YouTube, and also on the Video PBS app. I'm Anna Staver. Have a good week.